When Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum were released during the last decade, they brought with them something that we hadn't seen since the days of Johto: evolutions for Pokemon in prior generations. But unlike the scattered few in Johto, Sinnoh brought a whopping 22 new evolutions for older Pokemon. That's more evolutions in one generation than every baby Pokemon added ever. That's more than every fully evolved ghost Pokemon, not counting the ones coming up in Pokemon Sun and Moon. That is insane. So with so many to choose from, I decided to sit down with a good friend to count down our top 10 Generation 4 evolutions.
What is going on, guys? My name is Mystic, and I'm here to help Speqtor count down some of our favorite Generation 4 evolution Pokemon. Some of these Pokemon I really liked in Generation 1 and have really grown attached to them even more now since we have had additional evolutions for them. Not to mention, I am a crazy Johto fanboy, and seeing some of my favorite baby Pokemon get those additional final evolutions is phenomenal.
Remember that this list is not my top 10 or Mystic's top 10, this is our collective top 10. We had to come to a lot of agreements and negotiate what to put on the list, so chances are, if one of your favorites isn't featured, at least one of us likes it. And you can let us know some of your favorites in the comments below. That's like the long way of saying, this is our opinion, please don't yell at us. But with that out of the way, let's hop in.
So starting off at number 10, we have Tangrowth. In Generation 1, we were introduced with Tangela. Now Tangela seems so incomplete, only having one evolution. So were we just going to have those beautiful vines and boots forever? Nope. Generation 4 gave us even bigger vines, and it gave us hands.
Now, I'll admit, Tangrowth at first didn't really impress me, but that was until I saw how bulky it is. Tangrowth is so fat, in like a stat sense. Sorry Tangrowth, you're not fat, you're just pleasantly plump. Tangrowth is one of those Pokemon that's so ambiguously ugly that it's actually kind of cute. I mean, no, just look at him. I'd pinch his cheeks if I knew where they were.
Overall, Tangrowth is an adorable ball of vines, and we like it a lot.
Number 9 is none other than JJ the Jet Plane himself, Togekiss. Color me surprised when I found out that Togekiss got an evolution in Platinum.
Togekiss is fucking adorable. In Generation 2, I hated Togetic just because of how terrible its move pool was, but I still liked its design. Then Generation 4 came and gave our little egg bigger wings.
Togekiss is such a well-designed evolution for a cute yet awkward Pokemon, and fuck, it's so majestic. Not only that, but when they gave it the fairy typing in Generation 6, dude, this thing became a bigger nightmare than it was when it first hit the scene. You do not want to be on the receiving end of its dazzling gleam. Cute and strong, like a Powerpuff Girl, except not horribly deformed.
Okay, so as a lot of people on my channel know, I am a huge fan of the Johto region, and Sneasel is definitely one of the many reasons. The first time I saw this Pokemon was when Silver uses it at the underground path where you have to battle him again. I saw it and wanted it, but I could never get my hands on one, and I was never able to get one and actually use it fully until Generation 4, in Diamond and Pearl, where you could obtain it on the snow routes below Snow Point City. I caught it, and then I found out I could evolve it. My first playthrough of Pokemon Diamond, I had it on my team and I loved it. I especially love destroying Cynthia's Garchomp. You better talk, because I can go on forever.
I personally like Weavile because even though it has more weaknesses than my mom has allergies, this thing hits like a truck. This sleek and edgy little weasel cat thing is rocking a base 120 attack stat. That's a Night Slash that could knock you into another universe. Or just slash you a lot. But most importantly, look at this shiny. Shiny Weavile don't give a fuck.
I'm not on the same boat as you when it comes to its shiny form, but our love for it is definitely mutual. I can't argue about that.
Oh, come on, don't give shiny Weavile the cold shoulder.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Just like Mystic, I love Generation 2, and Swinub and Piloswine are right near the top of the Gen 2 totem pole for me. So when I found out that they got an evolution in Generation 4, I was enthralled. Just look at him, he's a big, furry, mammoth pig baby, and I love him.
I like Mamoswine a lot too myself. In fact, I actually did a theory on my channel a long time ago about why Piloswine couldn't evolve into Mamoswine in Generation 2.
We also had the pleasure of riding a Mamoswine through Route 17 in Kalos, and it's probably my favorite rideable Pokemon period. And I don't know how to end this off since we already used the cold shoulder joke, so next.
So we finally moved to a Pokemon not originating from Johto, being Frostless. This Pokemon is the definition of being one of the scariest ghost Pokemon I have ever seen. Literally, a woman died and Frostless was born. Like, holy shit. If this wasn't October, I can assure you guys I wouldn't be saying this. Get into the Halloween spirit.
Thanks, but I'd still have to do a Halloween video, Mystic. In terms of Snorunt's evolutions, I am definitely more partial to Glalie, but Frostless as an evolution is amazing. Her entire look is so ominous and creepy, and yet so elegant at the same time. Sure, it's pretty bad in competitive battle, but that doesn't mean it isn't still an awesome evolution.
Yeah, this one is more of my favorite Pokemon than Speqtor's, but I can say that Ghost and Ice typing is an amazing concept, and the entire design behind Frostless is pure genius.
If you thought Frostless was scary, then this one takes the cake. Gliscor is a monster. I mean, all Pokemon are monsters, but you know what I mean. Like most people, I glossed over Gligar in Generation 2. It was so lackluster. A step in the right direction, but only a small step at that. Then this thing rolls in and boom! It's like our Lord and Savior of the Caves, Zubat, descended from the heavens and made sweet love to a mere mortal Skorupi, and this demigod burst forth to bring badassery to our world.
Well shit, that's quite the description. I like Gliscor because of Ash capturing his Gligar in the anime and then eventually evolving it into Gliscor. Ash's Gliscor was just so funny, and after it did its training from the master who trained it, it was ready to kick ass in the Sinnoh League, and it truly did, giving Paul a true run for his money.
It's nearly impossible to find anything about Gliscor that I don't like, though I'm sure there are some of you that hate Gliscor purely because of its reputation for poison heal stalling. And to that I say, get good, scrub.
Number 4 is Honchkrow, and I just have to say, crows are some of my favorite birds. When I saw that Murkrow had become a Pokemon in Generation 2, I was honestly really happy. When Generation 4 came though, and Honchkrow was released, my mind was blown. Now we had a bigger and devious crow. Honchkrow is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon overall, and I love to use it on my Pokemon Diamond teams.
Honchkrow is a goddamn gangster. Its name even comes from the phrase head honcho. It's quite literally a boss. Listen to its cry. That's a cry that commands respect. Look at this guy. He's like, hey, you, over there. You talking to me? YEAHDubz.
All in all, he's got that Al Capone look. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Capiche?
Number 3 is Stoner Fox. Ha ha ha, do you smonk to weds? I smonk like 3 weds every day. We don't condone drug use here, guys. Regardless, Leafeon is one of the best evolutions out there. It may have come later than the original 3, but it felt good to finally see the fire, water, electric, and grass niche filled, even if it isn't by a leaf stone.
I love all of the evolutions equally. No hate on any of them at all, period. They are the most adorable Pokemon of all time. Leafeon though is my second favorite evolution, next to of course my mascot. If Sun and Moon allows us to get Leafeon early on, I will legit get a Leafeon on my team when I do my Let's Play.
That's not a bad idea. Anyway, Leafeon's shiny isn't exactly good. In fact, it's bad. But hey, it's adorable. An adorable little salad dog. New top 10. Top 10 Pokemon I would eat. Just kidding.
So we both equally love RoseRed, and sadly we were bummed out because we could not put it on our best Sinnoh team. What makes me love RoseRed is the fact that I would always pick roses for my mom, and honestly she would love them whenever I would bring them home to her.
I've said before that my love of RoseRed didn't come until X and Y when I realized just how cute Badoo is in full 3D. As my playthrough progressed and Badoo became a Roselia and then a RoseRed, I grew really attached to it. It's just such a well-designed Pokemon all around. It's elegant and it's powerful.
This Pokemon is also one of the most beautiful Pokemon I have ever seen, and also reminds me of Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. I am definitely very old to remember that. That guy is just amazing. So here are some honorable mentions, starting off with Mismagius. Misdreavus is one of the most adorable ghost types I have ever seen. When it evolved in Mismagius, I loved it even more. It didn't quite make the list though because Speqtor considers it as one of his bottom tier ghost types, despite his love for ghost types.
Dusknoir. As a standalone Pokemon, it'd be great, but as an evolution to Dusclops, it just feels a little too different. It's pretty badass though, so we had to put it in the honorable mentions.
Last but not least, we have Electivire, and this Pokemon was pretty high on my list. It didn't quite make this list though because we felt it was a little too obvious of a Pokemon to put on the list, and we wanted some more variety, and this whole line just doesn't appeal to Speqtor, as it does to me. Still though, I love this Pokemon personally.
When Mystic and I made our top 10 list before we compared, this Pokemon ended up as number 1 for both of us. And that's because it's just so damn cool. Glaceon. And yes, that was an ice joke. Let it go. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god. Okay, I can't. Mystic, you're the evolution guy. Take over for a second.
These jokes and puns, dude. I gotta hand it to you, dude. That was pretty damn cool. Damn it, now I'm doing it. Literally though, Glaceon is our number 1 because we both agreed on it pretty mutually. I don't know what it is for me though, but I have always loved the snow and ice types as a whole, and seeing Eevee get an ice type evolution was just amazing for my Pokemon career. It honestly just looks like an ice queen, royally sitting down in her throne chair. Not to mention Glaceon reminds me of one of my favorite characters from Yu Yu Hakusho, Yukina, who is an ice apparition. Sorry dude, had to bring out my inner love for anime again.
You set me up for the perfect Frozen joke again and then go all weeb on me? Damn it, Mystic. Regardless, Glaceon is an amazing evolution and is by far my personal favorite of the 8. And just like its crown of icy diamonds, we had to crown it our number 1 Generation 4 evolution. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to become a member of the crew. And thank you, Mystic, for joining me.
You're welcome. I enjoyed bringing out my inner weeb and talking about some of the Pokemon I have loved since Generation 1, and how they were improved in Sinnoh to be the very best. Speaking of the best, over on my channel, Speqtor and I built what we believe is the best team to play through the Sinnoh region with. So if you guys are interested in a video like that, be sure to click the iCard in the top right corner of the screen.
Yes, definitely do that, and be sure to follow both of us on Twitter. That's all for today, so until next time, this has been Speqtor, and as always, stay bueno.